What's up? Interesting video to talk about today. Something I want to chat about. There's noise going on behind me. There's noise going on outside, but gotta record this right now because daylight is dying, and I need to get this video up tomorrow. So we're just gonna roll with it. You saw the thumbnail. You read the title. Let me explain. It was a Sunday evening, this past Sunday evening, and I was craving pizza. So I went to the grocery store. And I got myself some pizza, along with some other things. As you saw in the thumbnail, I had a pizza, 4 donuts, and a tub of ice cream. Altogether totaling around 5,000 calories. I recorded just some random bits and pieces as like B-roll footage because I didn't really know how this video was gonna go, or if I wanted to use that in some kind of video, whatever. So I'll throw some clips over the top because you guys just like watching me eat. But this video is not about how much I can eat. This video is a discussion on why I did it and my thoughts on what I learned. Because any average Joe, any random person on a Sunday evening who thinks I'm craving some pizza would likely just go out and get pizza, but most of the time I would not do that because I'm generally so obsessive about the way I look, about my calories. I would tend to be more restrictive about that kind of eating, and 5,000 calories is a lot, and I'll get to that. But I guess I wanted to, like I kind of talked about 2 videos ago, exercise a little more, practice a little more flexibility, being okay with eating, enjoying good food, and being guilt-free about the process, which is a major thing that I'm going to touch on in a little bit. But here's what I noticed, and this is a very, very interesting thing, that when I went over to the grocery store that's just like half a mile from where I am, and as I was at the grocery store picking up these things on the way there and on the way back, this anxiety was building in like my chest, in my mind, like this pressure building up in my chest and all over my body, this anxiety about like having this cheat meal, enjoying this food. And I think this is the reason why, that because I am this fitness influencer, I'm this fitness guy, everyone knows I'm so into fitness, healthy eating, that I put this pressure on myself, or I feel like there's this pressure to be like perfect and healthy with what I eat. Oh look, the sun's coming out. Now it's going away. But I feel like almost when I'm around other people and I want to, you know, go off of my diet a little bit, enjoy something, like if I'm in a social event where there's pizza or something, I almost feel like I have to rationalize every time when I eat a slice of pizza, because I see myself as like this fitness guy and everyone's like, oh, I thought you were the healthy eating guy, why are you eating the pizza? And that may not actually happen. People may not actually be thinking that or say that, but in my mind, I have to rationalize that every single time, which is weird and wrong and should not be the way that it is. Like, there should be this, you know, balance is the word, but healthy eating to an extent that means like mostly healthy eating, but not unhealthy restriction. Like on a Sunday evening, if I want to eat a pizza, like I should be able to. Like if you want it, you should be able to have it. Obviously in moderation, like, okay, 5,000 calories in one meal is a little excessive, but I tended to go that route because of, you know, YouTube, titles, thumbnails, getting views, because moderation doesn't sell on YouTube. It doesn't get views on YouTube, unfortunately. And I actually didn't end up eating much of the ice cream, so I ended up eating less than the total of 5,000. But anyways, the point I'm kind of trying to make is that, and I was thinking about this too, looking back to maybe my freshman year of high school, I would eat a frozen pizza and, you know, some ice cream once or twice, maybe 3 times a week. Like having a full frozen pizza was a pretty regular meal, at least once a week. When I was in, you know, middle school, early high school, I'd probably have ice cream, like a bowl of ice cream, one to 3 times a week. And really, that didn't do that much damage to like my body weight, to my physique. And the reason, like, I wasn't so caught up with my body weight was, how I looked. But even if I was just like slightly concerned about it, it didn't make that much of a difference. Because you can enjoy those things, obviously in moderation, but if you're so obsessed with it, like, I can't enjoy pizza because it's gonna ruin my physique, it's gonna make my weight go up. Like, if your weight goes up a pound, who cares? That's not that much damage. So part of this for me, and part of the message that I want to get across, is like getting rid of the idea that you can't enjoy nice foods in moderation, that it's not the end of the world, but at the same time understanding your body, having, healthy satiety, where like you eat the right amount of foods, you eat moderate amount of foods, you're able to like fill yourself up so you're not restricting yourself, but also not overdoing it. And also understanding those things that might cause you to overeat or to overdo it, which for me is very often like sugary food, as I've mentioned before, but to not overstress it. Because like if you have some donuts, some ice cream, it's not the end of the world if you can control it, if you can do it in moderation. Because if you're over stressed and you're over focused on like your physique, how you look, what your body weight is, that creates so many diet issues. Like I heard this thing just the other day that sports or competitive things that involve weight classes, that involve, like bodybuilding, powerlifting, that involve achieving a certain weight to perform and compete, like 25% of those athletes, of those competitors, end up with eating disorders. 25%. Like having that unhealthy obsession with the way that you look and the way that like you weigh and all that stuff, which I feel like I have had, causes you to end up with like this terrible relationship with food and these diet issues. And it's something I'm trying to unravel, and I'm trying to like shift my focus to more of health and wellness overall in the big picture, which really means like feeling good, like enjoying life, being able to have fun, serve other people, go to work, do your work, love others the best that you can, and perform in everyday life, and not worrying about food and the way you look and the way that you weigh all the time. Because if diet is messing with your mental health, like the mental portion of nutrition is as important, if not more important, than the physical aspect of it. Like feeding your mind through nutrition and being able to have a positive mental health by the way that you eat and approach food is almost more important than how the food fuels and nourishes your body. And that mental health aspect, the thing that I mentioned towards the beginning here, guilt is the killer. Because I heard this the other day too, that the distinguishing factor between people who tend to like binge eat and overeat and people who can control it is guilt. That people who experience a feeling of guilt after like a moment of overeating versus people who don't experience that guilt, these people, the people who experience guilt, eat more. Like statistically shown. Meaning like if I'm enjoying a pizza, if I'm enjoying some donuts, some ice cream, and I feel guilty about doing it, I'm more likely to go beyond that point of like enjoying the food towards like that bad feeling of like, man, I overdid it. Man, I feeling bad about yourself. Because there is no reason you should feel bad in eating pizza. Like that should be one of the most joyful experiences of your week. But if you're so caught up with like your weight and your physique and how you look and all that kind of stuff, then it ruins it. And it shouldn't be that way. And that's something I'm working on for myself, and something I want to, like, the reason I'm making this video is that you should enjoy good food and not feel guilty about it, because that guilt causes you to have a worse relationship with food, eat more, and get yourself more and more in this cycle that just brings you down. Because here's the thing, you're very likely not trying to, I mean, most of the people watching this, probably not trying to be like a pro bodybuilder, a professional model, a professional person who needs to have a certain physique. Like, your life isn't dependent on that, very likely. I'm not saying don't go achieve your goals. Like, if you are someone who is overweight and you're someone who's trying to lose weight to actually feel better, live a better lifestyle, do it healthily, do it properly. Like, be dedicated, achieve your goals, stick to your diets, but these things aren't the end of the world. Like, your food isn't the end of the world. Don't get so caught up with eating, which is something that I am working on, because there's this fine line between eating for function and eating for enjoyment. There should be this elusive balance of enjoying good food, but also eating whole foods, eating healthy foods, living a healthy lifestyle. But God made pizza, God made donuts, God made ice cream. Like, there's enjoyment in good food. You shouldn't feel guilty about partaking in it. Have it in moderation. Be focused on eating healthy, having a healthy lifestyle overall. But main point, to kind of try to wrap up this rant I'm having here, my goal in having this kind of cheat meal was to enjoy it and not feel guilty. And that's what I did. And I feel a lot better than I would have if I was sitting there just beating myself up while I was putting back pizza. So if you approach the food that you eat in terms of enjoyment, in terms of, this is such a wonderful gift that I'm able to, have pizza, have ice cream, donuts, whatever it may be, instead of looking at like looking over your shoulder, like, who's watching me, like I'm cheating on my diet, and that anxiety that I talked about, like going to get the food. Don't feel guilty. Thoughts I wanted to share. And hopefully this is a meaningful video for someone out there. Because again, the point of this video is not to be like, look at me, I can eat 5,000 calories in a meal. That is strictly to get views. The point, the takeaway is work on your relationship with food, not being obsessive about your weight, about your look, and try to find that balance, which is easier said than done. But thanks for watching. Like the video, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Stick around for new videos to come. That's all I got today. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.